Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Steps Basic, and with me once again is
Bubble Ninja 720. How's it going, folks?
and welcome back to the Babbling Bears podcast. Hopefully, you guys are
Yay!
staying safe and not getting that corona.
The beer, at least, but not the virus.
The beer's on sale. Get it while you can.
It's got free publicity. Apparently, they also released multiple flavors.
Various different flavors of corona. You can get coronavirus, corona COVID-19. Anyway, that's enough of the silliness. Today we have a special topic. I think I say that every week or every month, but today we're going to be discussing fan fiction, but not just mine this time because ugh.
I actually kind of liked your idea for fan fiction.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's me. I'm a writer, like I say. I'm just good at it. Yeah. I've been kind of trying to think about what I'd be wanting to say about fan fiction because, despite my own attempts at it, I'm still not really that big of a fan of it. I like the whole idea of creative freedom and whatnot, and people having fun with stuff.
Yeah. But, it just has a really bad stigma.
Yeah. And honestly, it's because of the people that write it. Although there is also because of the whole, cease and desists that people throw at the people who are like just having fun with it too.
Yeah, I believe that's what's contributing to the stagnation in Hollywood right now.
Yeah. Itchy arm. Got it.
Very big contribution to stagnation.
Yeah. And the worst part is, when like Star Trek being one of the bigger problems when it comes to that, and they're out there stealing people's ideas already.
Well, did you hear what they're doing with Deadpool 3?
No, what happened?
It's going to be a soft reboot, so they could try and fit Wade into the MCU.
Weird.
Yeah, so basically, the first two Deadpool movies are not going to be canon anymore.
Lame. He's gonna have to have some,
Yeah.
he's gonna have to say something about that.
Oh, journalists are already anticipating him breaking fourth wall and making some wisecracks about it.
Yeah, I mean naturally, he's been through so many different iterations, and he's like one of the only people that remembers every single one of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, heck, didn't he have he had a comic series where he was killing his other selves off?
Mm-hmm. And then there was a comic series where he went through and killed all of the Marvel folk.
Yep. Well, he did that twice,
Yeah.
I think, at least.
He did the writers, he did the characters.
Yep. Then he said the readers were next.
Mm-hmm. Silly Deadpool. Always out there killing people. I don't know if I've talked to you about it before, but there's this show on YouTube called Death Battle, and it's by Rooster Teeth, and used to be called Screw Attack, but that's changed because I saw it back when it was Screw Attack first.
Oh, I know what you were talking about. Yeah. It's where they pit two people against each other.
Yeah.
Was it? It was Carnage and Deadpool, was it? No, it was Carnage and Lucy from Elfenlied.
Yeah.
Can't remember who Wade went up against.
Oh, they've done several battles with him because they wanted him to lose, and it was funny. He actually lost this time.
Who'd he lose to?
The Mask.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How did he lose to the Mask?
Cartoon
Just shoot him in the
rules.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
The Mask is bound by cartoon physics, and so basically he's immortal unless it's funny. Yeah, but
Wade can make him laugh himself to death then.
oh no, he it's got to be him being funny.
Oh.
Cartoon rules.
Well, then make him slip on a banana peel into a bed of spikes, then it's funny.
Is it funny though, or is it cheap and overused gag?
Cheap and overused gag, but still at the same time funny.
Therein lies the problem. It's got to be actually funny. And also, heroes of their own stories never die in cartoon rules. Ugh.
Well, then he can't be a hero in the story then.
Yep. But in that case, it was Wiz and Boomstick's story about the mask versus Deadpool, and so they wanted Deadpool to lose.
Oh.
Yeah. But it was kind of funny.
They loaded the dice.
Yeah. It was kind of funny that they had him go up against Pinkie Pie once. And
Pinkie Pie?
Yeah, from the My Little Pony folks.
Oh.
And instead of actually having a real battle, they just ended up becoming friends and breaking out of their restraints and invading the real world.
That's funny.
Now that's the type of fan fiction I like right there. Because it's nothing serious. You're not trying to bend it so much to your own thing, but I do like watching it like, yeah, let's compare these two. We have to kind of completely change the universe a little bit to make them actually fight, which, is important because most superheroes won't fight other superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first video I saw from them, well, actually, the first video I saw from them was a long time ago, and I don't remember what it was. But the one that kind of got me back into it was watching them do Superman versus Goku twice.
Yeah.
Because the fans weren't satisfied.
Yep.
Specifically, the fans of Goku weren't satisfied. Ow, ow.
Yeah, I hear you. They didn't do him justice, quote unquote.
But yeah, that was. I figured that would be actually a kind of good topic to bring in. Was that sort of thing, instead of so much actually writing a story around it, but comparing and contrasting characters like that. I kind of like that idea. And like I said, I'm not completely averse to the idea of writing your own stories and stuff, as long as you don't just pervert it to your own whims. Kind of.
So you don't overdo it.
Yeah, preserve the purity of the establishment, or the established story, I should say. I'm weird like that, which is kind of funny. As much as I'm not really a fan of Twilight, the fan fiction based off Twilight is still one of my least favorite ideas of fan fiction. Even though it's kind of big and famous at the moment.
At the moment? Why would it be big and famous right now?
Well, they just made all the movies. You know what the fan fiction for Twilight was, right?
No.
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh God.
Yeah. Hence not my not meshing with my tastes, as it were, because it is a bit divorced from the original concept, a bit too far.
Well, I'm sorry, but Twilight's really not my cup of tea anyways.
Yeah, like
Although
I said,
I do
not a fan of it.
enjoy certain parts of it, but unfortunately the whole sparkling thing is a big turnoff.
Yeah, like I said, not a big fan of it myself, but it just takes the original work and really perverts it when you turn it into 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh yeah. Well, anything will be perverted from 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah.
I don't know. What were you going to say?
Twilight itself, it's got its own issues. But it's like the whole, what do you call it? The several 100-year-old vampire creeping on a 16-year-old kid. Yeah. That's not kosher.
Yeah, true.
So what have you uncovered in your perusals of the dark world that is known as fan fiction?
I'm gonna honestly say I have yet to still peruse. I've been busy with the channel, so.
No worries. I mean, like I said, it's not really technically the point of us is to talk about different fan fictions at the moment. It's mostly just the whole idea in general. And, that was...
No, I'm pretty much with you on the same point. Was, keep it clean, keep it as not like straight to the source material, but don't divorce yourself, like you said so far, that you're pretty much don't know details of whatnot. Like, try to stick with the characters the way they their mentalities would be. Don't
Yeah.
be like, oh, well, this character is now gay, kind of thing, or something like that. Just
Yeah.
randomly write something like that in, because I know that I may not read fan fictions, but I do know that they've got stuff like that going flipping around.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's one thing kind of irks me, and it's more fan art than fan fiction, but it definitely falls in line with it. It's like you see people doing the pictures of the Disney princesses and princes getting tattoos all over their body, and I'm like,
Oh, like punk, they're doing the punk look and whatnot.
yeah.
Although my favorite iteration of that is when they do the zombie survival or apocalypse survival versions of them.
I like those because that makes it that makes it into a different world, so to speak. And imagining these folks surviving in a different world is a little bit different than just kind of reimagining the character altogether. Because,
I think my favorite one has to be Pocahontas.
I also kind of liked the Jedi forms when Disney bought up Star Wars and everything. I kind of liked the way they made all the princesses into Jedi. That was kind of funny.
I didn't see that.
Well,
Yeah,
Disney itself didn't do it, but fans.
I know. It's like fan art slash fan fiction kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, I think they had another one where they had various Disney characters zombified.
Mm-hmm.
That's another weird one.
One thing that really kind of irks me when it comes to these sorts of fan fiction things
What's that?
is when they try to make the bad guys into good guys.
Yeah, that could irk me too.
And it's like Ursula was just misunderstood. She living in the witch place under there because of King Triton and whatnot. No, she was banished because she was doing evil things.
She was banished because she tried to use Serp Trident.
Mm-hmm. Using dark evilness.
Steal his weapon.
And look at the first thing she does when she gets his powers. Just like, I'm going to destroy the entire oceans. I'm evil.
Pretty much.
It'd be like trying to turn Gaston into a sympathetic character. No, sorry. Don't like him. He's gross. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he does a lot of weird things.
It's kind of funny. There's a kind of thing going around these days that most remakes and whatnot are remakes and rehashes and sequels and whatnot that people are putting out these days are less canon and more fanfic.
I would doubt it.
A good example being what you brought up and the new Beauty and the Beast movie.
What was that?
The live action one
Beast
with
gay?
No. Gaston and his little buddy. LeFou?
Yeah, LeFou.
LeFou, yeah. And so it's like, let's write from fan fiction and make LeFou gay and in love with Gaston. And I'm like,
I can kind of see that, but at the same time, no.
Yeah. Talk about people writing their own fan fiction. J.K. Rowling and her own series has become her own fan fiction.
Pretty much, but that's kind of different. She has her own. It's like it's her own,
Yeah, because it's her work, it doesn't count as fan fiction. Because it's her work, it's just retconning everything.
Yeah, retconning could just be as bad.
Mm-hmm. Ugh. That's one thing I'm worried about with the new Final Fantasy coming out. What are they going to retcon?
7.
Yeah. What are they going?
I haven't seen them retconning anything yet.
Well, so far they've been like, I don't know if you saw how much of the demo you've seen.
Not much. I watched your comparison video.
Yeah, I didn't cover everything in that, but there are some significant changes like that I didn't completely talk about. And then after watching back, I was like, why didn't I talk about that? Because it's like,
I still find it funny that you decided to talk about what Jesse's boo armor.
Yeah. William was nice enough to remind me that because of the way it's built, it's not necessarily a weak point because it's reinforced in the cleavage area. But
You still
Steve
dent it hard enough, it's gonna cause a really bad pain slash inability to breathe.
yeah, it's like, what did I say? It's you ever worn a bra that was the wrong size? Well, it's nothing compared to wearing metal.
Yeah, so I mean that metal goes right into your chest.
Yeah, and my character, one of my characters in one of my books, she wears armor, but she wears armor that is crafted basically. Well, it's got a big area in the front, not form fitting.
Yeah. Well, armor isn't meant to be form-fitting. It's supposed to have a little bit of give room so that when it does get dented, it's not denting into your flesh.
But hey, I don't think anyone's going to wake up and realize that we need to give these folks some good armor, not just pretty armor.
Or bikini armor.
Oh, that's the worst. It's kind of funny when I did my first playthrough, I was kind of stumbling over the part because I was a little annoyed about the armor. So I kind of stumbled over it, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's even worse than it's even worse than the bikinis." I'm like, "Yeah, that's not true. The bikinis are the worst."
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
The armor you wear, the stronger it is.
I saw this joke go by online where it's like, this girl comes into the blacksmith all upset. It's like, we're wearing the same type of armor. Why doesn't it look the same? It should look the same. Cut to the next scene, and the guy's wearing the bikini armor as well.
Bikini armor.
Yeah, he's like, I love this. It's so light, and I can move around so much in it. She's just all cranky. She's just all angry about it.
She's upset. Yeah, because she wanted his armor.
Yeah. We should just make a whole video dedicated to talking about RPGs and their armor.
Not just that, RPGs in general.
Yeah, I love me some RPGs, but they definitely got some issues with them. It was one thing I meant to talk about in the remake that I didn't talk about was the random battle versus what it looks like we're going to be having monster locations instead.
And they're just going to respawn.
Yeah. If they do it like they did in 15, it won't be that bad. It was actually a really good spawn system in that one. Oh, we got sidetracked again, didn't we?
Yep.
Roll back to what I was talking about, retcon. Yes, retconning. And they had created a bit of a backstory, because I don't know if you remember, because Final Fantasy VII was so very, very long a time ago. But at one point, after you blew up the reactor, you go down in Tifa's bar and you start talking to all the folks. And I think it was either Jesse or Wedge that said it, but they're like, that explosion was a lot bigger than it should have been.
It was Jesse.
Yeah.
She's guilt-riddled because of the fact that it was her bomb.
Yeah.
And her calculations that she got people killed.
Yeah, and they gave us an explanation behind that this time, saying that after... I think this part I actually included in there was after you blew up the place, Shinra ordered Heidegger to blow it up even more.
Oh, to try to frame Avalanche.
Yeah, to make them look even worse. And then if you're listening to the dialogue, it's like there's an upper chain of command of Avalanche.
I remember you saying something like that.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's like, not sure if I like the more people like that. And then they're talking about an assassination attempt at one point, and
who?
President Shinra.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So that's hints at a larger story that they're definitely building up on, but I'm worried that it may turn into somebody else's fanfic, which is something I was kind of hinting at in the video, but at the same time I was like, I'm going to remain hopeful that it doesn't deviate too far from the original story.
Yeah, that's one of my main issues too. 7 was one of my biggies.
Mm-hmm. I still count it as my favorite game.
I'd have to say out of the Final Fantasy stories, 4 was not just 4, but Tactics.
Hmm.
Those are my favorite stories. 7 was good. I like the step 7 for the future punk kind of
Hmm.
setting.
I remember, I remember the TV spots from back in the day, seeing the whole bike and the water and
Yeah.
everything, and like, this looks so cool, I want it. Technically, 7 was the second game I ever owned on the PlayStation.
I had a bunch of games on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
I had that little itty bitty white one,
Yep.
the PSX or whatever, PS1.
PS1, yeah. I had that big old square or that big old square gray monstrosity, I mean to say.
Oh, the gray brick,
Yeah. And we
the
upgraded to the
Sony
little
brick.
one.
Yeah, that's what I had, the little white one.
We
And then I got a
upgraded.
PS2.
We actually had a few of the little ones. In fact, Trish even bought a screen for one of the little ones. And that was cool because it kind of attached to the back of it and you could flip it up. And it was
Yeah,
like,
I know about those.
yeah.
I had one of those for the GameCube, I believe.
Yeah, me too. Underway, it was marvelous not to have to wait for a TV and then have everyone complain that I was hogging the TV. So it was like, all right, cool. I'll just get a screen for mine.
My GameCube had the Game Boy adapter as well, so I could play my old Game Boy games on it.
Nice.
Yeah, I still have the adapter. Actually, that adapter is apparently worth money, especially the CD for it, because there's not that many of them left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, apparently people garbaged them
Yeah.
or something, just damaged them beyond repair.
Ugh, that's annoying.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd rather people use them to the point where they don't work anymore than to just hold on to them until later, because then it's like, why?
I actually plan on using mine for recording purposes once I get the requisite cords so that way I can hook up, you know, old gen to current
Mm,
gen.
yeah, that'd be awesome. Then you can make some Pokemon content.
Actually, I don't have any of my old Pokemon games.
I've got Red.
I had blue and yellow, and I don't know what happened to them. I've moved so many times with
Yeah.
being at my parents' house, and I lost a lot of games. I loaned games out, never got them back, stuff like that.
Worst.
Yeah, I
Terrible
lost
friends.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so annoying. Yeah, I ended up trading in a bunch of stuff while I was in to, kind of free myself a little bit, free up some room in my rack.
Yeah,
So I ended up having to, get rid of a whole bunch of stuff. And when I came back and running out of money and stuff, I ended up having to get rid of my GameCube and everything. And it's like, I miss it.
oh, sorry to hear that, buddy.
It's all right. Kept food in the mouth for a while, which was the important part.
Yeah, unfortunately, with GameCube, though, you need to get the memory cards. I don't even know if they sell the memory cards anymore.
I actually might still have a memory card. I have to look
I
in my
had a
box of wire.
knockoff.
Mad
Yeah, I had a
Cats.
knockoff one. Yeah, and it kind of didn't work too well. It would randomly delete my files.
Lame.
I think now it's actually to the point where it won't even record data.
Uh, yeah,
And I treat my stuff nice, too.
I know most of the GameCube, or not the GameCube, the Game Boys, the old Game Boys games are coming up on their death moment
What do you mean their death moment?
when the internal battery dies.
Oh, I
Although,
actually have a couple of those.
yeah, not a friend of mine, but this other channel I watch, they were talking about it, and this guy has kept his Pokemon Red with a full Pokedex and everything for 20 years. And apparently it was supposed to die about 10 years ago.
Oh, wow. I actually just started, I mean, not started, I just finished my Pokedex right before Sun and Moon came out
Nice.
on
Perfect
Omega
timing.
Ruby. Yeah, just in time for a new Pokemon. Yay! No,
Yeah.
I didn't even finish Sun.
I honestly haven't played. I had Pearl, and I never beat it, but that was the last Pokemon game I ever played.
Well, let's just put it this way: with Sun and Moon, you're the rival. So that means you wipe the floor with your, your frenemy. And he's like, "Oh, gee, man, I guess I need to train more." Ha 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 ha.
I miss the days when with Gary and his stupid face.
Ash. Yeah.
It was so much better to have a rival you could not like. Although apparently nobody likes Hop from Sword and Shield.
I don't even know anything about Sword and Shield. All I knew is that they didn't have all the Pokemon coming back, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, they're gonna DLC it, and sure enough, I believe that's what they did.
That's what I've heard. I haven't heard much, else about it, but you know,
Yeah.
Hop is your quote unquote rival, and
Mm.
it's kind of funny the way they play it. It's like he's this younger brother of the champion, um, and the champion comes back to your hometown, celebrating like, "You look at me, I'm the champion." Blah blah blah. Literally, I swear he says he's the undefeated champion at least 10 times in the first conversation. And he pulls up the 3 starter Pokemon. He offers them to your character and Hop, and whichever one you pick, Hop actually picks the weak one, the one that's weak to yours, instead of the usual where he picks the strong one. And then
That's what happens in Sun and Moon as well.
what? That's lame.
Yeah, I picked the grass Pokemon, and he picked the water type.
Wow. Yeah. Then the champion ends up taking the
The strong one.
the strong one. Yeah. It's kind of lame.
Actually, that was my favorite one, was the grass type, because it ended up getting a ghost type at the end when it final evolved.
Cool.
Yeah, it was the first starter ghost type.
Yeah.
I think it was Decidueye, I think is what it's called.
I don't know. Sounds like a tree.
It's a owl,
Oh. Cool.
grass ghost. Started off as grass flying, and then it swapped out the flying for ghost.
That's pretty neat.
With fan fiction, though, my major gripe not only has to be the people kind of perverting the storylines,
Mhm.
it's got to be the big corporations dumping those cease and desist hammers on people.
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about how it'd be better to just hire them on,
Yeah, hire them on and buy their story and then
yeah.
release it for money. I mean, like people making the Twilight fan fiction, I guarantee you people would eat that stuff up.
I mean, it got turned into a movie. 3 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I think just because hers was divorced enough from Stephanie Meyer's work, it didn't really set off a lot of the whole red flags of. Mm-hmm.
Stealing content.
Yeah. Another thing I kind of have a gripe about. I mean, I've mentioned this trope before, the Mary Sue type characters, and the Gary Stu.
What is that supposed to mean? I never really did understand that.
Yeah, it's
Like the
basically.
run-of-the-mill generics.
Yeah, no. I mean, they're generally presented as generic so that every man can put themselves in that position, but it's often the writer's ideal character, i.e., they're putting themselves into the story and making themselves the best person in the story. Always has the right answer, always falls in love with the most important person. Derived from a Star Trek fan fiction. Yeah, from what I remember.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
I've never really been a fan of that sort of thing. I mean, I technically kind
Me
of did
neither.
it in mine, but at the same time as like my character inhabited other stories, like characters that existed in the stories, and that really himself, so to speak. But he inhabited like a vampire, superheroes, and whatnot, or well, mutated folks.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of I like if I'm going to be doing something like that, I kind of like my character to be not important, not as
Overpowered.
important. Like I said, I don't like to mess with the canon too much. So if it's like if I'm writing a Star Trek character or Star Trek work, and I want to include a character of my own, it's probably going to turn out to be somebody who dies and does something stupid, or maybe somebody who's like not important, but at the same time, at least has some role to play.
So red coat.
Red shirts, yeah. Perhaps. Maybe not so much a complete red shirt, but at the very least, someone who isn't going to interfere with the story too much.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if I'm reading Star Trek, I want to read about Captain Kirk or Spock or Jean-Luc Picard or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I'm not really a Kirk fan. Give me Picard.
Heck, I'd even take Janeway over Kirk sometime.
Oh, I actually like Janeway. Janeway's a good one.
Yeah.
A little headstrong, but
That was just one episode of Voyager I remember, like, vividly. It was a very strange episode. Not vividly, like, vaguely. I mean, it was a very strange episode where they ended up going past their current warp speed technology capabilities and ended up having slugs or something, babies with one of the members, and then it was slugs, and I was like, what the heck is going on? Because it started messing with the time. And I was like, it was weird. But I liked it. It was interesting.
kind of ended a little weirdly.
Yeah. I've kind of heard that the new Star Trek Picard has been going pretty badly. Like they're beating up the old man.
Not good.
Yeah. I've heard they've been beating up the old man, as it were, with Picard. He's not acting as much of a captain as you'd expect, and then the folks around him are treating him like he's stupid. And on top of it all, he stopped using futuristic curse words and whatnot, and decided to just go back to our sorts of language. And I'm like, why are they using our language that far ahead in the future?
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of glad I didn't, pay a service so I could stream that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. CBS just hasn't really tickled my fancy enough to get me to subscribe to them. I was CBS All Access.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of intrigued a little bit when they first started. I forget what it was. Discovery at first I was really interested in watching. But then when I heard about the lawsuit they had going against them, and I looked into it, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to be paying to watch that.
It killed me. What happened to Hulu?
Hulu?
Hulu, it's like Netflix in a way.
Yeah. I have it, but
It was.
I don't use it very
What
often.
happened with Hulu? Hulu used to be free.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you did get a butt ton of commercials, but you could have paid so that you pay a subscription so you could skip them.
Uh-huh.
But this place used to have an undeleted huge archive. And basically, it was amazing. It was video game heaven. Video heaven. And I would just sit and binge watch anime. Yeah, there was commercials, but that's just like how TV is.
Mm-hmm.
You grow up, you got a bunch of commercials. You use those as bathroom breaks and snack times.
Yeah, that's our generation. We're used to that sort of thing.
Yeah, but and then I think Comcast bought it out, and now it's got the basic subscription fee. So just to access it, you have to pay a monthly fee.
Oh.
the library has an expiration date just like Netflix, so it cycles crap out.
Hmm.
And then to top it off, they have plugins that you have to pay for, like HBO plugins. So if you want to watch HBO shows or movies, you have to pay the subscription plugin on top of it
Hmm.
to get access to those movies and such.
So they don't have a free version anymore, huh?
No, Hulu is like nickel and dime you.
It's gone corporate.
It's Comcast.
Mm-hmm.
Comcast really does not care about um, its customer base.
Yeah, I've heard about some of their like trying to quit them is like akin to trying to pull teeth or something.
Try to summoning a demon, probably. So glad I don't have Comcast.
Yeah, we Lizzie and I actually burned through Bleach on that on Hulu. We still
Well,
haven't
I
finished
watched
it
a
yet.
bunch of anime.
Yeah,
I watched Nisekoi. I watched Full Metal Panic. Um,
I have one disc
Rurouni
of that.
Kenshin was on there.
Yeah.
Um, there's like countless ones. Shuffle. What were the other ones? Kame ga Kill. Yeah, I watched a lot of them. And they had some really funny ones like Demon King Daimao. I don't know if you heard of that one.
No.
Oh, that one's hilarious. Basically, when everyone's born, they have like it's basically deals with fate.
Mm-hmm.
Like when everyone's born, they have a set thing that they're gonna be when they grow up, and they find out when they go to school.
Oh.
There's one kid wants to be he wants to be like the pope of that reality. It's like the pure good, wants to do good, stuff like
Mm.
that. And he gets Demon King as his trope.
Well, that's a bit not the right one.
Yeah. But then he decides to, hey, I'm going to use the Demon King powers for good, which end up backfiring.
Mm.
It was a really good anime. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. We watched the season of The Devil's a Part-Time Worker on Netflix. That was
I
kind
didn't
of
get to
fun.
watch that one. I need to watch that one.
That one's fun.
What was it?
Unfortunately,
They had, huh? Unfortunately, what?
they only have one season of it.
Oh.
I want them more.
Um, yeah. Season 3 of Castlevania is out.
Yeah, I still haven't seen one on that one.
What?
Yeah,
Blasphemy.
I know, right?
That is an amazing. You need to stream that now.
Oh, I
The
can't stream it
dynamic
now.
between Alec. Well, later when you have free time.
Yeah, problem is,
The
it's
dynamic. Huh?
the problem is with me. It's like when I watch anime, I'm usually watching it with Lizzie, and everyone's told me don't watch this with Lizzie. It's bad.
What, Castlevania?
Yeah,
Not that bad.
I mean she's gonna be a teenager too. She ain't
I don't remember any like explicit nudity in there.
no smexy
I
time.
mean, there might be like no, no, not at all. It's got some gory bits. Like you get to see Trevor take a guy's eye out with a whip.
Oh, neat. Yeah, gore's
And
not so much
other
an
other
issue.
gory tidbits. They got some like cussing and stuff too. Like Alucard's actually got Alucard and Trevor. They've got pretty foul mouths towards each other.
Hmm. Not fans, I assume.
Well, Alucard's a half vampire, half human, and Trevor Belmont is a vampire hunter.
Yeah, I know that dynamic.
Yeah, it's basically a retelling of Trevor Belmont, Alucard, and Sypha Belnades,
Ah.
the trio, the triumvirate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Demon King Daimao, by the way, he has a dragon underling called Peterhausen.
Hmm.
The psychic talking dragon.
Nice.
It's like a kind of mechanical in a way. He's like his personal mount.
Ah.
And then what else? What other animes did I watch on there? There was I couldn't be a hero, so I became a part timer or something like that, or a full timer, where
Hmm.
he basically works in a convenience store. Demon King, not Demon King Dama, but the Demon King and the Hero, something like that. That one's a good one. That one's you find out that the Demon King is actually a demon queen, and that she's actually not evil.
Ah, well, there you go.
Yeah. So the hero of the story, which happens to be named Hero, because everyone's named after their title. Like Demon King is literally Demon King, even though it's female.
Uh-huh.
And then you have the thief, who's this old like crotchety guy who's like really really perverted. He's like the Master Roshi.
Hmm.
Then you got like Wizard, who's like this little girl that's got three personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically she's supposed to be one of the triplets, and they all fused into one body to gain power or something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so they all share one body, kind of like the Fates in a way.
Uh-huh.
Uh, there's another one. There's so many, and I was like, I was like talking to my girlfriend, like we can go download Hulu. That should be awesome. I used to watch that all the time, you know.
Hmm.
Hulu got me by so much when I didn't have like the ability to play video games. Like if I didn't have money for subscriptions, you know,
Yeah.
living paycheck to paycheck, money's tight. Sometimes you go to bed hungry, wake up hungry, kind of thing.
Yep, I know it.
Work hungry. So you get what you get for free. So and at the time I didn't know what YouTube was, or even if YouTube was out. So Hulu got me by a lot of rough depression, you know,
Hmm.
moments. And then it was kind of sad to load that back up and find out like it got butchered hard for money.
Yeah. That's pretty lame. Ugh.
Pretty lame indeed, putting it lightly.
Oh, just punched my microphone.
Yeah, I heard that.
Well, we got completely sidetracked, but I think we came up with a good topics and just got to chit-chatting a bit. Yeah, I kind of like doing that sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we are the Babbling Beards.
Yep, that's kind of what we got to do. It's our raison d'etre. Yeah, actually, the folks that my buddy from the Navy, his little podcast that he does with his buddy is like they pick like five things to talk about and then they just kind of ramble on.
That's funny.
I still need to reach out to them and see if they might want to do something, collab or anything. Might be a fun
Yeah, I
thing.
hear you. Yep.
But I think that's it for us for tonight. We've already been going for almost an hour, and I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm falling asleep too.
It's been a rough week.
Everything okay?
Yeah, no, it's I mean, between working on that project with the Final Fantasy and everything, it was just kind of working myself a bit harder than usual.
It came out pretty good, by the way.
That's good. I'm glad. Yeah, they closed schools down here.
Yep. Well, it's all in Virginia now.
Yep, that's what I mean. Yeah, down here is in Virginia.
My sister's out of school now, and my mom's probably tearing her hair
Did you watch the video we made today?
out. About the school, yeah. Wash your hands.
Yeah.
Were you trying to intentionally make it look like your hands were bleeding from washing your hands, or was it just red soap?
Oh, it was intentionally supposed to look like I was bleeding because I was washing my
Okay.
hands so hard that was blood and everything. I had the tube of vampire blood sitting next to the sink there just in case somebody decided to freak out, say, "Oh my god, I can't believe you did that!" Like, no, it's fake. Don't worry.
I
Yeah.
didn't even see the tube. I just noticed that, like, did you just use red soap? Because you were, like, lathering in Dawn there a minute ago.
Yeah. Well, the joke being that I washed my hands so hard I started to bleed.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I
That
had
one
to
kind of went over my head, though.
I had to do the joke because every time somebody tries to portray people playing video games online or on videos and movies and stuff, they always got them just killing the controller. I kind of had to
Yeah.
demonstrate what that would actually look like.
Yeah, I remember that part too. With you like play video games. All I hear is clickety clackety buttons.
Yeah, killing the controller. Well, anyway, I guess next month is going to be talking about all the new releases that we're getting and looking forward to. If we have any other topics that might want to pop up, you can drop me a line, let me know. Viewers are included too. Y'all can tell me if you guys want to hear anything, or him, either
Tell
one.
us.
Yeah.
And don't forget to visit our channels to catch our content. Next Friday's Doom Eternal. We'll both be playing that.
Yep, I'm excited about that. And we've
I
got
am too.
we got highlights coming every week now. We're doing great. Hopefully going to be able
I'm
to.
trying to figure out. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say hopefully be able to work on some more projects like the Final Fantasy one.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to squeeze Doom Eternal in. I might just put regular Doom on hiatus and just play Doom Eternal instead. Make that my Monday, Tuesday.
Might as well.
Once Doom Eternal's done, I can finish up Doom. And for all of you that are watching and worried about, oh, it's going to be a sequel, you're not going to know what's happening. I know what happens. I watched countless people play through it, so I know the storyline. I know how it ends. I know the cliffhanger sort of thing, and I just want to get in and rip and tear.
Yee. Make some meat.
Hopefully, though at the rate I'm going, currently I am in the sewers in Resident Evil 2 remake. I should be done by the end of this month.
Oh yeah, you're almost there.
Well, I still got to go through Claire B still too.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly the fastest player. I know I'm going to get a really crappy score, mainly for the fact that I sat for a good 5-10 minutes in a safe room when I unlocked X and pretty much just cowered, trying to figure out how he runs around because he wouldn't leave me alone. He would just sit around the room I was in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh great, well I guess I gotta bait him to go left and then run right kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a bit of a stalker like that, creeping on you.
Yeah.
Oh, Claire B's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, I count on it. I'm gonna say this now. Claire is overpowered compared to Leon.
I think it's more a matter of Leon's just way underpowered.
Because I upgraded that shotgun. I have the long barrel on the shotgun, which increases its power to max, right?
Mm-hmm.
I point blanked a zombie that was laying on the ground, and it didn't kill it in one hit. He had a grinning skull for a head, and he still didn't die in one hit. I had to follow up with another shell just to blow his head off.
I never had that issue. Well, I should say once it was fully maxed out, had all the parts on it. I never had a problem with one-shotting all the zombies.
It happened twice since I got the long barrel.
But anyway.
Although I will be using that shotgun more to take out zombies that are laying on the ground.
Yep. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of the Babbling Beards podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to go ahead and poke that like button for us. If you'd like to see more from us, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And of course, as always, you're more than welcome to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and we will get back to you as soon as we can, when we can, if we can. You know all that jazz. And tune in next time for another topic at another time. Yeah. But anyway, until then,
Later, everyone.
And good night.